Hi everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Well, you're probably thinking, oh no, not that thing again. But I've got a little secret. Not only have I got the world's largest RC off-road wrecker, I've also got the world's smallest RC off-road wrecker. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been sitting down with Tinkercad and designing this crane for the back of the IR40 from Injora. Sitting on top of a Traxxas TRX4m chassis, it features Mias axles, Mias gearbox, Trill shocks, which I think are absolutely brilliant. I've got an Injora 11 kilo servo in there and a Furitech power unit. The Cedar I find fantastic for all of these off-road vehicles. So just to give you a bit of a comparison between the two, obviously the large wrecker is 1/10 scale and the small wrecker is 1/18 scale. And yes, it features a fully working rear winch. So some of the key parts we've got that I've used to build it is the Injora IR40 body shell, which is basically a Toyota Land Cruiser, the Mias axles and drivetrain, the Furitech motor, Mias wheels and tyres, but the key components for the conversion are all made and designed by myself. So we've got the crane on the back, which is designed and it's made from carbon fibre PETG. It's the first time I've used this, but a company called Tinmori reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try some carbon fibre filament and also some glass fibre filament. So I thought there was no better project to use it on than the crane on the back of here. So we've got lots of lights on it. I've got the original headlights. I created this roof rack with the 5 spotlights on as well, which I thought looked pretty cool. We've put a couple of jerry cans up on the roof because obviously wherever you go you're going to need spare fuel. We've got a nice little snap-on toolbox in the back because obviously to do the repairs to get things back on the road we need some tools. Rear lights, which were actually the originals. And the key thing for any recovery truck is the winch. So one good thing about designing things yourself is obviously you can get them exactly how you want them. So with this we had to do a little bit of prototyping and we ended up with not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not 6, but 7 prototypes before we finally got the one that I wanted. So one of the things that I love about this body shell that Injora have put together is the clipless body system on the front. You just undo the little catch and the whole body hinges up and gives you access to all of your electronics underneath. So if we just have a peek inside, you can see the Injora 11 kilo coreless digital steering servo, which is absolutely silent. When I put it on, I didn't even realise it was working. It's so quiet. We've got the Furitech Cedar motor with the Python Pro ESC. Now I like this system. A, it's brushless, B, it's waterproof, and C, it's got separate ESC and motor, which means I can move things around and fit them better inside the model. I've also designed this electronics plate that all the electrics sit on. Gives me plenty of room for the ESC, the receiver, and also the battery, which is one of these lovely small Overlander 420 milliamp hour, and it sits nicely between all the electrics. And once I put the body shell down, it holds it in place. So if you think you might be interested in doing the conversion yourself, I'm going to make all the files available on Colts 3D, where for a small fee you can help support me, and obviously in turn you get the availability of the files. So included in the download, you'll get everything you need to convert it, with the exception of the servo. So you'll get the crane, the roof rack, the plate for the electronics, which fits perfectly under the body, the wheel for the back of the crane, the 2 rear shock absorber mounts, the rear cross member, and of course the hook. The only thing you'll need to source will be a 360-degree micro servo, and I'll even include the little pulley for here. And then with just a short length of braid, you're good to go. So the fishing line that I've used for mine is this braided shock leader used for fishing. So it's braided Teflon coated shock leader, £50. So just give you a bit of a close up. The wiring looks untidy up there, but I'm going to make a tarpaulin that's going to go over the wiring for the roof lights. Got the servo winch on the back and the crane. As you can see, all the Mias parts underneath look fantastic. There's a pulley, nice little hook. Underneath you can see that electronics tray and it fits nice and snug under the body shell. The rear cross member and the screws for the rear shock absorber mounts go into the cross member, so it's all nice and sturdy. And then there you've got the rear pivot from the original Injora body shell. Underneath, if you can just see here, so either side it screws in, so one screw from either side, and then the two original screws fit in the back from the roll cage, so they would go pretty much here. So just four 1.5mm screws hold the crane on the back. I'm also going to try and print a little interior for it. So I hear you saying, it's a tow truck, can it tow? So behind it is my Mias V3 Ripper, which is the aluminium CNC version. It probably weighs between 800 and 900 grams, which for one of these 18th scale is pretty heavy. So let's see if we can pull that along the bench. Wow, I think that pulls out quite easily. Let's see if we can winch up the front. Okay, so we pulled it along the bench. Can we lift it up? There we go. We could do a recovery if we needed to. Well, I don't know how it happened, but somehow we managed to roll the Ripper onto its roof. Can we get it back on the wheels? Easy. So there we have it, the Crawlstock RC Mini RC Wrecker. I think you'll agree, it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm amazed at how it performs. I've still got some upgrades that I want to do, one of them being the shock absorbers. I want to put some stiffer springs on there so it sits a bit higher. But I like the stance as it is. I think it will crawl really well. It's definitely going to look really cool out on the trails as well. And I look forward to getting it out and showing everybody how well it performs. So if you like what I've done, please leave a comment because it really does mean a lot to me. It's really nice to reply to the comments and read what you guys think of the builds. It's definitely what I would call like a mini me of the big one that I've built. And I know how popular that is. The design came out really well. I actually did an AI picture of it and I've almost nailed it with what I had in mind and what the AI came up with. But it's by no means finished. I'm always tinkering. I like to do a little bit extra. Like I said, I'm going to do that little tarpaulin that's going to sit on the roof to cover the wires for the lights. I'll probably put a high lift jack on there and maybe a pickaxe and a shovel. Let me know what you think about that. And last of all, I just want to say a massive thank you to Mias Racing, Fury Tech for helping me out, and to Tin Mori, the 3D filament company, for supplying me the carbon fibre filament for this build. It's really interesting to try. I've also got that glass fibre one that I want to try as well. So if you're into 3D printing as well, then keep your eyes peeled because I'm going to do a video where I compare the strength of normal PETG, PETG-CF and PETG-GF, which is a glass fibre. So thanks everyone for coming along. I hope you've enjoyed the video and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.